Welcome to Call of the Pen, episode 5. Just want to talk about the Golden Knights up 2-0. Feeling good about ourselves.
It's been a
And
slaughter.
it looks like your team was getting a little frustrated last night. They just want to start fighting us, trying to make them feel good about themselves going on the plane.
Got to. They're Bulldogs anyways. Two of their guys lead the NHL playoffs in hits, so they just go out there and try to truck fool. So might as well win in some category.
I've never seen so many ejections in like 5 minutes. It was crazy.
It's nuts. I love it though. Hockey's so much fun, especially playoff hockey. Is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Except for yesterday's
The
game.
city's going crazy here. It's great for us.
Yeah. Well, hey, you
then,
apparently.
All right, so we have to talk about this.
Yeah, there you go.
At bat that you have had. We had a question from one of our followers. They sent me a video of your AB and you're standing in like, I don't know, the on deck circle.
Like Henry
So
Rowan
can you
Gardner.
talk us through this? Because that's pretty embarrassing. Like I had to face Max Scherzer and I was in there taking hacks. You're facing, I forgot who you're facing, but looks like you're scared to death.
Kyle Bearclaw.
And he couldn't be further from the plate. I mean,
yet not looking very hitterish, as it were.
I mean, this is amazing. This is the exact opposite.
Touch an inside pitch.
We talked about Rizzo being on top of the plate. This is the opposite.
Oh, he's all close.
Now get a little closer. Nice adjustment.
That was hilarious.
Who wants to take away that outside corner? Here we go. Chopper weakly hit to second for Kendrick to retire the side and set up the national.
All right, so there's a background story
Claw.
to it. All right, it's not what it looks like. So ever since Joe would put me in the game, he let me go multiple innings. I get to hit, and I'd take hacks every time I go up there. In my head, I'm trying to launch every pitch. In fact, I told Butterfield, our third base coach at the time, I was like, Butter, don't be shocked by the end of the year if I launch one out of Wrigley. Don't be shocked. And he loved it. So every time I went up there, I went up for damage, right? So they know this going into it, the coaching staff and everyone. Well, this is a year later in 2019. And I don't know if you remember, our bullpen was depleted in the National Series. And I was basically the lone man standing. And Hotovy talked to me before the game, goes, hey, don't be shocked if you go 3. I'm like, well, if I'm the only guy up, why don't you just make it 5 innings? And really, if he's like, starts laughing, he's like, be careful what you wish for. Well, sure enough, I had to go in and close the game out, in 2 2/3 innings, I think it was. And in that 9th,
I remember that.
Yeah, we had a 1-run lead, and my spot was coming up, and Joe looked at me, he goes, you good? I'm like, yep. He goes, go grab your bat. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to go up there. I'm going to try to launch. But when I went up there, like it got to 2-0, I think it was, and everyone's screaming at me to step out of the box. I ignored him the first time, 1-0, 2-0. Joe's screaming at me, step out of the box. I'm like, what? He goes, you need to take to 2 strikes. I'm like, fine. So that pitch, I stood in the back corner of the box trying to be, a wise guy, and looking like Henry Rowan Gardner of Rookie of the Year, and took a strike, and then I got back on the dish and ended up grounding out to second. So it was only one pitch. I looked like an idiot, but I was doing it just to rub it in on him a little bit. So that was the whole story with it.
I'm surprised Bearclaw threw strikes after that. I would have been
that was the thing. I did it.
second.
I'm like, you know what? I hate when guys do this. Like, this might mess him up, and he just dotted one, of course. So I'm like, all right, he's fine. But I got wood on it. I grounded out to second, trying to hit the other way.
Yeah, typical pitcher swing, laid on it.
Yep.
Our down swings, ground ball to right side.
Had to save my energy.
If they ever needed a guy to get over with 2 outs, nobody on, they should totally put a pitcher in, because we can get ground balls to the right side with the best of them.
Right. Don't make us bunt either. Like, no, not many of us can bunt. Just make us just hit a soggy little dribbler to the right side.
Yeah, it's so hard to sit there and bunt and put your face in 95 with sink coming at you or whatever, and then the guy throws the slider. Like, I'd rather just try to be extremely late on 95 and accidentally hit it to the right side.
Exactly. Yep. Or
so let's try to
Go ahead.
Let's cover some live baseball today. Let's talk about some standings in each division, maybe the bullpens that we like. Let's start off with the NL. Let's go with the West. I think the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and the Giants are solid. Padres seem like they're underperforming, but we got the Diamondbacks just doing it. And the Rockies, it's Colorado, and it is what it is. So what are your thoughts on the NL West?
Yeah, obviously the Diamondbacks are a shock. I remember they had what did Tampa go? They won like 16 straight, something like that. I don't remember the number. Something crazy. Maybe that's probably over ambitious, but or not 16 straight, about 8 straight. And they asked, I think it was Rojas and Diamondbacks, would you rather have your record going in playing your division or the undefeated record? And he's like, oh, I'd rather have my record. And I thought they were crazy until I saw like where they are today. I'm like, it is a tough division. I mean, other than Colorado, like this, all those teams are pretty stout. And they're tied for first with the Dodgers. I mean, at this point of the season, that's pretty remarkable.
The Diamondbacks had a road trip. They went into Philly, and I think they went into Pittsburgh and somewhere else, and then they just played Atlanta at home. Like, it's not like their schedule's been easy. Like, I like that team a lot. And Merrill Kelly has stepped it up, and they're just very athletic, very fast. The new rules plays into their hand because they can steal a lot of bases. Chafin is a solid, probably one of the best left-hander relievers in the game, and they're putting him all over the place. He was closing earlier. Now he's all over the place. And now they got Castro, who's a nasty righty. He gave it up the other day, but that happens. That happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like him.
I don't like the Dodgers bullpen.
Yeah. What don't you like about it?
It's just all over the place. There's one. I always think when there's not a set closer, no one could fall in line. So it seems like they're just doing that pocket thing, like they're just the very expensive Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah. What about?
I mean, their bullpen ERA is like
get back
middle of the. What's that?
Is Trinan going to be back by the end of the year?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So that's a huge loss for them. That dude is. You played with him, didn't you?
I didn't play with him. I played against him for a while. The guy's solid.
Yeah, it's like one of the nastiest sinker ballers I've seen. I mean, and now he learned a frisbee slider last year, and then obviously Tommy John, man, that stinks. But I was hoping he'd be back this year.
Was it Tommy John or shoulder? Something like that.
Regardless, it's tough. Like that's a key piece you need in your bullpen for a playoff run.
It's 98 bowling balls and then 94 cutters and then a hammer. So I mean, pick a direction.
Yeah. I mean, the Gratterall dude.
Well, I just don't. I don't know. I don't like their bullpen. They've given up a lot of. I mean, they're going to score with anyone, but they have to score. Their starting rotation is good. That's the thing. They're always going to be. And these young studs they brought up, they're always going to be in every game. I don't even know how you send this Miller kid down. He's unreal. I saw him last year. He's throwing 100, and I mean, he's got nuts too. So I like him a lot. What do you got on the Giants?
I mean, for me, it's like similar to the Tampa in a way. They always just find a way. Last year, obviously they struggled a little bit. I think they're going to be in the hunt still. 2 years ago, I was blown away with how good they are. Like, there's no way they can maintain this, And then, sure enough, at the end of the year, they had like the best record in baseball, and it was insane. So I think they're still capable of putting it together. Their rotation's pretty good. Cobb's having a good year. I love seeing that. That guy. I mean, he's been so underrated his whole career. I like him. And again, but it's a tough division. So, I mean, who knows? There's just not too much wiggle room. I don't see them winning the division, but potentially being a wild card team, for sure.
My only problem with them is they just use the bullpen so much, so much. And it's like they're paying Taylor Rogers $11 million and the guy comes in the fourth inning. Like, I don't get it.
Yep.
I don't get it. It's confusing to watch. I think he struggled with that in the beginning. Like, he was brutal to start the year. Then obviously he's adapted.
Right.
But I mean, they're starting to figure it out. I think they're hovering around 500. They're not bad, but I don't see them. They swept the Phillies, but other than that, I just don't see them.
Right. And when you have Arizona playing as good as they are, they're 6-4 in their last 10. The Dodgers are going to be the Dodgers. I mean, they just have not much room for error. And with the Dodgers, what I was trying to get at before I lost you is with their bullpen. Yeah, it may be a little iffy right now, but what they're going to do at the deadline. Like, they're going to find arms and they're just going to absolutely take off. I mean, the good organizations that are willing to spend the money and make moves like that are the ones that are always the cream of the crop. So,
all right, Steve's having a lot of issues. So sorry if that cut out for anyone, but we'll just move on to the AL West. What do you got on the AL West?
I mean, the standard. The Astros are going to win the division. I mean, it's pretty simple.
That's a bold statement. Have you watched the Rangers?
Yeah, but you know what? You're right. But guess what? They just lost their horse.
But they've been doing it without the horse.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying, man. The Astros, I think, are just going to creep up on them. They're going to make moves at the deadline. Texas, I hope they do. Their bullpen is holding it together just enough, but that's going to be their Achilles heel. They need to make moves at the deadline bad, I think, if they're going to be able to hold this lead on the Astros.
Yeah, I do like Will Smith in Texas because he's done it, and he couldn't get a job all winter, so I like that he's probably pitching with an edge. That guy's nasty when his slider's going. He's got even with a little bit of velo. Yeah, but obviously losing Degrom is like huge. Let's talk about that for a second. 34-year-old going through his second Tommy John.
Yeah.
What are the odds of him even being back to close to himself?
I don't know, man. It's like, I mean, with technology nowadays, you would think he'd be able to. You know, obviously, I don't know him personally. If the drive is there, I think he can. I mean, but will he be the same? I don't know. Who knows? Some guys come back super strong from that, but at 34 years old, obviously, that's going to be a problem. He's going to be coming back at his age, pretty much 36 year. So I don't know. Will he be effective? Yeah. Yes, as if he can pitch through a whole season going forward. That's, you know, hopefully that arm will buy him some insurance, you know, to further his career. But I don't think he's going to be the same guy.
Yeah, I don't know him personally. I've only heard through the grapevine about him. He's not the hardest worker in the world. I think he's just blessed, and I think everyone said how he started throwing hard because he was wakeboarding. So
no way. I wish I should have taken up wakeboarding.
I know. When I heard that, I was like, oh, I totally should take up wakeboarding. It was like going over COVID. Remember how over COVID, like all of a sudden the dude was throwing just 100 every pitch. It was ridiculous. Everyone's like, what the heck's this guy been doing? And the clubby on the road told me that he said wakeboarding. That's how he had gained more velocity.
What? I never heard that.
That's what the road clubby told me.
Wow. Well, guess what? Everyone's
doing second Tommy John, 34 years old. I got $200 million in the bank. You know, we'll see what he's really made of him if he really wants to be a part of something, be a winner. Obviously, he's got 3 Cy Youngs.
That's what I was going to say.
And, you know, he doesn't need to come back. And the Mets look like a genius, by the way.
Yeah, they knew something was up. Isn't that amazing how teams know stuff like Tampa Bay is always like that. Man, you see a guy leave, and they're like, why did they let that guy go? Or why did they DFA that guy? It makes no sense. He had a great year the year before, and it's like, oh, well, that's why.
Yeah.
You know, there's always
the
something.
Rays win every trade.
Yeah.
If the Rays want to trade you one of their guys, you should just say no.
Nope. Not doing it. It blows my mind.
Like even like Willie Adames, the shortstop that they traded to the Brewers. The guy's a good player, but he hits 200.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really fly well for the Rays.
It's crazy, man. But yeah, Houston,
anyways, get back on track. So
Houston
the Astros. I love the Astros bullpen.
Yeah, they're always good. Yeah.
I love the Astros bullpen.
I mean, I hope Texas.
I
hope Texas wins it though.
Texas or even the Angels. It would be great for the Angels.
So yeah, that's my. Ever since playing that,
that's your sleeper, yeah.
For a bullpen, yeah, but they are one left-handed arm away. I feel like from having a solid bullpen. I think we were talking about before the show. They're 8th in ERA right now. Their strikeout, their K ratios. Not bad. I think what do you say, middle of the line or something like that. But
yeah, they're middle. They got 200.
They got this Soriano kid and this Joyce dude who throws 105. I mean, I love the way their bullpen. Estevez is having a career year. I mean, I have a good feeling about them. Barria's holding it together. His role is all over the place, but he's got like I think a 1.8. And when I was there, he was solid too. Like it's just they're my sneaky click to pick bullpen for the rest of the season. Let's put it that way. I feel, and I really pull for them because I really want Trout and Ohtani to make it to the playoffs. You know.
Yeah.
And the rest of the guys, of course.
Well, first of all, 105, like 95 is one thing, but 100, like 10 miles an hour harder than 95.
Well, 95 was gas back when we first cracked the league. Like you were the dude. I think Joel Zumaya is the only dude that threw over 100 that I ever heard of.
Yeah.
Maybe Jabba Chamberlain before, you know.
And Craig.
Of course.
Kimbrel.
Yeah. But dude, I mean, it's like consistently over 100 miles an hour. It blows my mind. And that's why
I don't like to say it. I don't like to say people are going to blow out, but it's only a matter of time.
Well, I was gonna say that's why me and you are sitting on our couch doing a podcast because guys throw 100 now.
Everyone throws 105, and we throw 90.
Oh, and by the way, Chris Davinsky, I forgot he was in their bullpen. He's looking like his old self with that nasty changeup of his too. Like, oh man,
If
dude.
that guy's throwing 95, 93, 95 with that changeup, I'll take him. I mean, good for him, by the way. Like, he was almost out of the game.
Exactly. I love seeing that. So, dude, I don't know, man. If their starting pitching can hold up, like they could be pretty decent. They're floating, or I think they're a game above 500.
It's always been starting pitching with them. Always.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, Patrick Sandoval figured it out. When I was there is when he started figuring it out, and he looks solid, man. Watching him in the WBC was special too. I mean, the kid is great. Nice little lefty with a really good changeup. And it's not surprising. Yeah, it does. It plays well in this league, you know, and so I really hope they can pull it out. But again, wild card team. If there's, you know,
well,
there'll be one of the wild card teams.
Most of those guys haven't been through the grind of chasing down a wild card or a division title. And we'll see what happens when they go to Texas or Houston and the late inning relievers come in and that pitch clock is making them rush. And let's see if they can keep it together.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go real quick. Let's go to the best division in baseball. That's the AL East. I'm up here in Red Sox land, and it's all I hear about is my cousins and uncles and everyone complaining about the Red Sox. And at the time when they were complaining, they were 2 games over 500. I'm like, dude, like it's not even halfway through the season. They're 2 games over 500. But then you look at the division, it's like, they're 30 and 30 now.
Look at everyone else.
It's just crazy, dude. This division is nuts. Who do you think's gonna rise to the top?
I don't think the Red Sox are very good at all. Like, they just lost. They were starting to figure it out because Sale was starting to be Chris Sale. And now you got a horse that can go against everyone else's horse. But now he's hurt again, and he might be done. Mm-hmm. And the rotation is just not very good at all.
What if you put them in the what if you put them in the Central, though?
In the Central, they probably win the Central.
That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's how good that division is. I mean, the Central's not good, but I'm just saying. The team in last.
I think the Rays are going to win that division easily.
I don't know how they do it year in and year out. It's just incredible. You know what it is? Those guys just buy into the program. They're selfless and they just buy in. You know, you can't say that a lot.
You've played there.
Yeah, but we weren't that good. When I got over there, we were like 5 games out of first place, and then we just hit a wall offensively. But it's just, you know what? I don't know. It's such a low key place. It's almost like Marlins Park. There's just not many fans show up, but when they do, it's awesome. Like, you get fired up. But when you're on the road and you're playing the Yankees, like, you just get super amped for those games, and you know, you're just playing out of your mind at that point. But I mean, these guys, they have their way, man, and the players buy into it and they're selfless about it. I think that's the difference. You know, there's not a lot of selfishness going on in that clubhouse.
Yeah, they all know the roles. They're not role players, but they know their roles. Mm-hmm. And the bullpen guys have no egos. They think about it. They never have a closer ever.
Yep.
And they're extremely smart with their matchups. And then they got starters for days. That's the main thing. Like, they're in every game. And they play the game the right way, so that means they're going to capitalize on every other team's mistakes.
Yep.
And then they just rake right now. And now before it was like, oh, they can't score, but now they rake. So
yep, exactly. And I think
you're in trouble.
Their bullpen's kind of like middle of the road right now, but I think they're better than the numbers would say. You know what I mean? They're probably a few games got out of whack, but they're solid, man. I like. I mean,
they're not going to like. I don't like Adams they put Adams a lot as a closer. I hate that he has to throw a million sweepers to get through the lineup, and he can't throw a strike to save his life with a fastball.
Yep.
I don't like, for me personally, I don't like closers that cannot control the fastball. Like, because there's a big chance of you walking guys. Or you either have to strike everybody out. Either your sweeper has to be on and pray everyone swings at it, or you're just in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally.
That's just my take on him. I think they'll probably end up going to get a guy like they always do.
Yep. I always root for them.
When I went to go play there as a visiting team, I always felt like there's just shady stuff going on there because, one, there's no fans there, and I don't know. You're just walking to this dungeon of a white building, and it's just something shady gonna happen. Something's happening. Why are they winning here? I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Like, what did you guys do?
it just zaps the energy out of you walking into. It's like going into a circus tent.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right. I mean, all right. So then, what's your take on this? What is, if you're gonna roll with any bullpen in the league? Let's finish with this. What is your number one bullpen you're rolling with? Don't say my bullpen.
Number one bullpen. I'm gonna roll with the Yankees.
That's what you stole mine. All right.
You can take the Orioles. We're not even talking about the Orioles.
All right. You talk about the Orioles.
I love the Orioles. I love everything about the Orioles. I love their young energy.
Yeah.
And their matchups are great. With their bullpen guys, they got a lefty. How do you pronounce it? Colum? How do you pronounce that lefty's name?
Dude, I don't know.
But he's nasty.
He's really good.
Strikes everybody out, throws a bunch of sliders.
Columbe.
And then you got the Cano guy, and then you got the big dude at the end. What's his name? Diaz?
I don't know.
Throws 100 miles an hour with a splitty, and he's like 8 feet tall.
I'm talking about Batista at the end. That's they're
Batista. That's his name.
You're talking
Batista.
about? Okay. I was like, a Diaz? I'm not sure, but dude, yeah. Felix.
I was thinking of Jumbo Diaz from the Reds back in the day.
Yeah, he's way out of the league. Dude, yeah, Felix Batista, dude. He's insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Brian Baker used to train at Cressy's place. He's got a little crazy in him too. I like that. And Austin Voth.
Yeah, he's got some edge. He needs to be humbled a little bit, but he's got nuts, which I like.
I mean, you can't tame a bull. He's a bull, man. He's fun to watch. I like it.
But you can't yell at the other team just when you're just walking off the field because you punched a guy out. Like,
hey,
shut up.
If that makes you click, man. No, I agree. But he does.
Even
he's got a little bulldog in him.
I like it. I mean, as long as your teammates like it, I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the other team thinks.
Right. But the Yankees, dude, I mean, I don't know I guess I haven't been listening to a ton of podcast stuff, but I don't think anyone's given Michael King enough credit. Oh, also a Cressy guy, by the way. Dude, his stuff is ridiculous, right? And he's sitting.
Is it the same since his shoulder surgery?
165 this year.
That works.
With 38 punchies and 32 innings, and with 1.07 whip, which makes me more excited than all those numbers. So he attacks guys with plus stuff and not scared.
He was even better before.
Well, you know how it is. If you think he's better before, his mindset's probably better now. He's a little bit more seasoned than he was before, and that goes a long ways, especially in New York, dude. Like, if you have way more weight on your shoulders pitching in a place like New York, you know. They got Tommy.
He's their Swiss Army knife. He comes in. Yeah, I like Canley.
Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes is like the modern like another Blake Trinan, essentially. The absolutely devastating.
Filthy. That guy's disgusting.
Sinker, disgusting. Pounds the zone. Jimmy Cordero's having a nice little year. His stuff is really good. I mean, he just 2 seasons I've seen him throw, he's put it together, and I'm glad to see him. He's doing well. I think he played with him at one point. I mean, their bullpen's solid, man. It's gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah, but the whole Yankees problem always is health, like up and down lineup, rotation, bullpen. Which I can't wait for Cressy to be on next week. Yeah, and I want to know if he has a heart attack every time a guy gets hurt, because they have a lot of guys that get hurt.
He does, but
and if he takes the blame and if Cashman yells at him.
These are great questions to ask. Yeah, if you have any questions with Eric coming on next week, let us know. We'd love to be able to send him his way, put him on the hot seat. But yeah,
everyone doesn't know Eric Cressy is. He's in charge of strength and conditioning for everything's elite performance, everything for the Yankees. Not only for almost every baseball player in the country, but he also has to take care of the Yankees too.
Mm-hmm. And he really is the best of the best, man. He's awesome.
And what about the Blue Jays?
You know, I didn't really follow the Blue Jays much, other than the Manoah thing. Like sending him to rookie ball. That. I mean, obviously sending him down to rookie ball, they have a plan there. They must have a coach there that they trust that can get him locked back in. Someone that he really trusts in. That's probably he had in the minor leagues or whatever. So they don't just send guys a rookie ball to send them there. Like either there's something health-wise going on, or they just a guy that they trust down there.
Yeah. He's lost a mile per hour. He's walking. I mean, he walked at this time. He had 15 walks last year. Now he's got 42 or 43. So
what do you think? Is it a lack of preparation this offseason?
I mean, you could tell. You hear him talk, and he says, "I more think about not what pitch not to throw than instead of I'm going to throw a strike right here," which I'm going to guess too much information.
Yeah. So he's in his own dome too much.
And you're just domed up. Too much analytics. Can't do this, can't do that, instead of go be you.
But this is an opportunity, man. I mean, this is where you see what guys are made of, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
look at Roy Halladay got sent to A-ball.
Exactly. Yep. And look what happened.
But you can't if you lose a miles per hour, it's either health or mental. It's something's going on. His arm slot doesn't look right for me. It doesn't look the same as it was last year. I mean, obviously he's a big dude. Did he gain more weight? Was his preparation off? I don't know. I mean,
only he does.
I'm sure they're diving in. I don't know. It doesn't sound like they're mad at him. It's not like, oh, we're mad at you. You're going to rookie ball. It's like, we don't want to. We need you to go. It sounds like you probably got to go clear your mind. You need to go away from everyone.
Totally. Yeah. Just straight reset button. For a lot of guys, it's good. I mean, it happened to me in 15 and ended up being good for me. I went down to Double A because there was a pitching coach that I worked with back then, and came back hungrier. Like cleaned up some stuff in the minor leagues mechanically. Boom, back up in the big leagues after the 10 or 11 days, and still I had a better year, way better second half. It happens to the best of us, and he's really good, man. Sure. I'm not worried about what he's going to do in the future. Like he's going to be fine, but this is a good opportunity for him to clear his mind and just work on those little things to fine tune him and get him back for this, the second half, especially, so.
Yeah. Because they need him. They're going to be there. Their team's really good.
Yep.
I remember when, 2012, I was coming back from elbow surgery and they ended up DFAing me because I just cannot get over the mental hump of like, I was healthy, but I could not let it go. Like I just couldn't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they DFA'd me, I'll never forget, Melissa called me and told me to stop acting like a little bee and man up. And then after that, I was just like...
So he needs to find a wife that will tell him to suck it up.
Yeah. As soon as she said that, but I was on a mission, and I was back up within 2 months. Never looked back.
Oh, that's great.
You just need it.
Yep. You need someone like that in your life.
Let's talk about let's go to the NL East.
All right.
Really good division, probably underperforming for most of it, but
well, you see what the Marlins been doing lately?
Solid.
Yeah. They're nasty.
And they got dudes. And Sandy's not even pitching well.
I know. Yep. The Luis Arias guys just completely sparked that offense. He's incredible.
Yeah.
What's he hitting? Like 400, I think, right now. So Atlanta's going to win it. That's, in my opinion, that's like probably the second best division in baseball. I mean,
yeah,
the Mets are going to be good. I still think they're fine. Philly's going to make a charge. They've won their last 3. Atlanta's Atlanta. No one's going to beat them in that division. So it all depends if the Marlins can hang on. If they make the right moves at the deadline, just like everybody else.
I don't like Atlanta's bullpen though.
Dude, their bullpen's not that bad.
I mean, I've watched it a lot.
They got to be like top 3 in ERA, I think, at this point. No.
Let's give it a look, and definitely probably not.
All I know is I played with Raisel Iglesias, and I've seen him give it up a couple of times this year. But that dude is so nasty. Like top 3 nastiest pitchers I've ever played with.
Okay, they're 12. They're 12th in ERA.
Oh, I was way off. I thought they were much better than that.
And that's with Minter blowing up. So maybe they're not as bad as I think.
Yep.
I don't like Minter right now. He's just someone's figured him out, and he can't miss a barrel. And they keep throwing him in high leverage, which is the problem. So they probably would have a lot more wins if Iglesias was healthy. But then I've watched Iglesias, like you said, he gives it up. It's like the guy gets in such a hurry to throw the ball, and he like walks 4 in a row like he did in Oakland, and you're like, what the heck was that?
No, so I think he's doing fine. He's got he's got a 3-year ERA, I think, but he needs to be the guy in the high leverage closing situation. I mean, like he's the type that needs to have his back against the wall, like feel the adrenaline and go.
Yeah.
Like when we put him in a situation in 2021 with the Angels, 8th inning, bases loaded, nobody out. He punched out the side, 1-run game, and ended up closing the ball game out the next inning. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And after that, the dude just skyrocketed. He's the best pitcher in baseball out of the pen. And so he's one of those guys that just needs to catch that groove in terms of feeling the pressure on him, feeling the adrenaline, and just letting it ride, and he's gonna be great. And he's still doing fine. He's got 1.2 whip. And his strikeouts are a little bit down, but he's only thrown 11 innings so far this year. So I'm not worried about him.
Yeah. He's got all the weapons too, and he's not afraid to throw any pitch on a 3-2 count, which takes balls.
So
and I like Anderson. If Anderson become half of what he was when he was in Tampa, that's a good guy. And then obviously Kirby Yates is going to get healthier and healthier each outing. I mean,
I know
you got that guy in the 6th or 7th inning. I mean, geez.
Yeah, if he can get back like he used to be, 2 or 3 years ago, he'll be fun to watch.
But what left are you going to bring in to face, let's just say Bryce or Schwarber?
Minter. I'm trusting him. He's been so good. He's been so good over his whole career.
Hey, man, it's all about what – you know this. It's all about what you've done for me lately. It's not about the career. It's like right now. At some point this year, it's not working. It looks like a beach ball to everybody.
It'll come back. If I'm the manager, I'm just letting it ride. It's got to. I'm in first
so we got
place
Atlanta
already.
winning.
I'm in first place already with some wiggle room. I'm letting it ride. It's fine. So
okay, we got Atlanta winning, and I think Miami. I'm not sold on the Mets. The Mets are too hot and cold. Their lineup doesn't even do much. If Alonso doesn't hit a homer, I don't think they even score runs.
They're a playoff team, though.
They are a playoff team. They're a playoff roster.
Yeah.
Scherzer's starting to throw much better.
Yeah.
Verlander is like getting terrible losses, like tough luck losses.
Right.
But it's all about Carrasco. If Carrasco he's so hot and cold. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, he shouldn't even be in the big leagues anymore. And then all of a sudden he dominates.
Mm-hmm.
But for New York, they can't have that because they just freak out.
Yeah.
But their bullpen's solid.
Yeah. I mean, losing Edwin Diaz.
I'll say late innings. The bridge guy is not so well.
I mean, they're doing better than expected. You lose Edwin Diaz, obviously the best reliever in the game. To start the year, that's a devastating blow. And the bullpen's been holding it together just enough. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think
Robertson's numbers at this point of Diaz's last year, Robertson is actually better than Edwin Diaz.
I don't think they give even him enough credit. He gets plenty of credit, but I mean, it's impressive, man. It really is. It's so awesome to see. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Another one for the old guys.
Good division. I think that's the second best division in baseball. So
yeah, Philly's so.
They were so last year, and all of a sudden, look what happened. Just made it to the World Series.
I know.
So
it's June. It's June Schwarber, so that's happening.
Yeah.
And they finally moved him back to the leadoff spot. I don't know why they had him hitting 5th forever. Like, I love Schwarber, love him, but you can't have a guy that hits $150 that might not make contact hitting behind Castellanos. Like, you can't do that doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, Burgers. I mean, that's one guy I hate to face because you make a mistake on it, the ball's getting sent to the moon. Either you're going to strike him out or it's getting sent to the moon. So,
and now it's happening. Dude. Now it's June, and now he lit off tonight with a homer.
Yep, he'll catch fire, man. That's what he does. But
he'll probably win the wild card again.
I hope so. Yep, that'd be great. But all right, dude.
Your Nationals, sneaky Nationals,
they've improved.
They won't go away.
I love it. They got a sneaky bullpen, man. They got their back three. The back three arms are pretty good. Like I said before, Finnegan's on fire right now. He's an absolute bulldog. So is Harvey. I mean, I mean they're not going to do any damage, and then give them 2 more years. I think they're going to be all right. They're going to have a nice team. So, anyways,
sucks that Strasburg's out though. All that money and Strauss just.
I know
that hurts.
It's so sad, man. It was in Miami last year when it went again. He's trying to throw. He felt to go.
Oh, yeah.
So devastating. But, it happens, like you said
All right,
earlier. Well, next week we'll have Cressy on. If you have any questions, please send them our way. Call to the pen. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Just a little bit of banter over the divisions. And, send us some questions, please. We love to answer them. So we'll put Cressy on the hot seat.
Nice. All right. Thank you.
All right, bro.